Good morning, everybody. It is Megan here, the Faithful Fibromyalgia Warrior, also known as the Healing Foods Coach. How's everybody today? Monday, the 22nd of June. Hope you're doing well. So let me see. Today's video is just to give you an update. I've been doing OMAD now. Just wanted to let you know how that's going, what I'm feeling, how it's helping, and so forth. So today is day 18 of being OMAD, one meal a day. And I have to say it's been fantastic. I've been loving it. I've been able to drop 10 pounds in that time. The weight that I had put on when menopause kicked in a couple of years ago, and that's been coming down, which is amazing. Got butter out of my diet because I realized as much as I love it, and I do love it, and as much as it helped me for a season, mainly through actual menopause, it is not helpful to me now. It often gets me bloated or feeling nauseous, and I can't tolerate it anymore. So I've cut that out, sticking with just fatty ground beef and sausages that are as free of additives and fillers as possible. I personally prefer the Heck brand 97% pork sausages. They're here in the UK, so I think you can find them at Tesco, Sainsbury's, probably Morrison's and Waitrose. I don't know if they have that anywhere else in the world, but here in the UK, that's my personal choice. They don't cause me any issues. I like to add them in just for a little extra flavor besides just the ground mince with salt. So that's what I've been eating for my one meal a day, meeting the calorie requirements I do require for my BMR, tracking it, okay, because I realize, as you lose weight, your BMR will change, so you don't need as many calories, so making sure I'm not overeating, and trying really hard to make sure I don't undereat, because that can cause your weight to just settle. So, some benefits of going OMAD. Well, there have been a lot. My skin, okay, it's looks red now because it was beautiful here in Colchester yesterday, hopefully for most of you in the UK and the world. It was really hot yesterday and sunny. And so for Father's Day, my husband and I went out for breakfast and sat outside. And then I was outside yesterday mowing the grass in the back garden, trimming the weeds, well, because it was Father's Day and he's allergic to fresh cut grass. So even though he had his allergy shot, I was going to do that for him. Just sorting out the back garden, so it's ready now for the summer deck chairs, etc. We finally got all of our stuff. So basically, when we moved into this rental property, there was no kind of storage shed in the back, so we ordered one for ourselves. It took us a few weeks, but we got it assembled and put together, and then yesterday we finally got all of our stuff moved into that. So yeah, so that was a huge victory. And I felt great. I felt like I had energy to burn. I wasn't hungry at all the day before, so I didn't eat anything. I just sort of naturally slipped into a 48-hour fast because I literally wasn't hungry. I had so much energy, and I knew the autophagy was starting to kick in, and I was burning fat, and it felt great. What I didn't realize, and this is something I have to be extra careful about, was that because I was being so active and it was hot now, I was keeping super hydrated, lots and lots of water, putting in a little bit of Himalayan sea salt just to keep my electrolytes in balance because of the heat. So I did all the right things, all the good things. However, in spite of feeling great, in spite of feeling like I could literally move a mountain or work out for an hour and a half at the gym if I had to, I don't, but I could have. That's how I was feeling. I felt that much energy. It kicked me this morning. And I forgot that even though I have all this energy, I still have to be mindful of how much I do physically because of my fibromyalgia. And unfortunately, I woke up this morning feeling stiff and achy and a bit sore. Now, I'll be fine. And by early this afternoon, the aches in my lower back and knees, I'm sure will be gone. I did my normal morning gentle stretches just to work out some of the kinks. But that was one of the side effects, as I felt so great and so energized and so focused on OMAD that I forgot my own limitations. So there you go. So that's one of the downsides. You can actually feel so great on going one meal a day. You can have so much energy when you get the of course, the endorphins, but when autophagy starts to kick in. So for those who are doing it now, some people feel those things eating 2 or 3 meals a day, and if that is working for you and you're feeling absolutely amazing and energized, then please go ahead, do it. For me personally, I was trying to do that. Okay, I was following, 3 meals a day, lots of fat, lots of butter, trying to get through menopause. Hopefully that it was going to heal me. And once my, hormones settled back in, now that I'm postmenopausal, hopefully that would just settle things and the weight I put on would start to somehow come off. And yet it didn't, and it kept creeping up over the last 2 years. And I ended up putting on about, I've lost 10 pounds. When menopause first started, I put on about 5 to 10 pounds, and then probably another 5 or 10 after that. Now, some of that already came off, just sticking with regular carnivore, but those last 10, 15 pounds wouldn't budge. Didn't help that I was working in an office again after 8 years, so my life is quite sedentary. But just generally speaking, as I'm somebody who just struggles with just general anxiety, I try to meditate through it and pray through it. I mean, God is great for that, of course. Trying to remember to not be anxious, but sometimes, as much as I'm feeling relatively chilled out, even if I'm not anxious, even if I'm excited about something, like this Thursday, my husband and I are going to one of his colleagues' weddings, and then we're off on Friday to Dublin for a long weekend to go see The Cure. So that's super exciting, and we've been looking forward to this for months. So for me, whether it's excitement or stress, cortisol goes up. When I do too much activity, my cortisol goes up. And that's a hard thing to compensate for. I don't want to just lay around and do nothing, but that's something I'm working on. All right, so one of the things I've realized with OMAD is you can feel really, really great and energized, and you've got like that dopamine hit because your body's getting a chance to rest and digest and heal itself before it gets fed again, right? But for me, that feeling makes me feel excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have this energy and this is great. Wow. And I think it's kind of spikes the cortisol just slightly. Now that's unavoidable unless we're laying comatose. That's going to happen. But one of the things I realized is that it's really important for me to take time to de-stress as much as I can. And that for me is time spent praying, talking with God, listening to nature sounds, being outside in the morning for a few minutes, whatever. For you, maybe that's meditation of some kind, whatever works. I'm really appreciating more and more the importance of having these centering methodologies, if you will, just to help. So how we eat and when we eat is important. Obviously, that's the first step, but then you've got the other bits that need to go into place as well. And for me, doing everything in one day, as much as I felt like a superhero, was probably not a good idea. So I cut the grass and trimmed the weeds and cleaned up the, dog surprises in the back garden, and got some laundry done and just the normal weekend stuff that I love to do. It makes me feel like a sense of accomplishment, but I also know I can easily do too much of it, and then I end up feeling wiped. But I'm one of those people that even if I'm tired, I refuse to stop until what I need to do is actually done. And so I guess this is me saying, in conjunction with OMAD and reducing my stress and my cortisol levels, I need to calmly just go, you know what, that can wait till later. Or, my husband can do this, or I can ask my son to help, or whatever it might be. And so keep me in your thoughts, guys. That will be something I manage. I'll let you know how it goes. But exciting news. So down 10 pounds in 18 days, which may not seem like a lot. But again, the more weight you end up losing, the smaller you get, the harder it is to lose the last of the weight. Especially when a lot of it is hormone driven. So the weight I put on was hormone driven. Going through menopause, high cortisol levels, reduced estrogen and progesterone levels, as all women will go through when they go through menopause. And then that changes once the menopause is done and you're postmenopausal, then those hormones are never the same as to what they were. So that's why it's easy to gain weight. We have new stresses and challenges in our lives through a new phase, and that makes it even harder. So, wish me luck. I'm going to keep doing this because I'm feeling amazing. Like I said, the incredible thing for me is I even managed to sneak in a couple of just 48-hour fasts. I didn't intentionally plan it necessarily. Again, I come from a background of bulimia and, um, well, to say that I had some bulimia is an understatement. I was bulimic for 30 years, suffered with disordered eating for a very long time. And when I first started carnivore 6 years ago, there's no way I could have attempted a one meal a day or anything like that, or fasting, because it would have triggered me. And to be at a place now where I can see it as a tool and I enjoy it, and it's not a punishment, but it helps me feel energized and focused and incredible and amazing, is a victory. And that, honestly, that's God. Okay, that is God's working in my life. And when I think about how people used to eat in ancient times, they didn't have 3 meals a day and multiple snacks. You probably ate one meal a day, and you would try to eat enough to sustain you for the next day. So really, eating one meal a day is actually probably what our ancestors did anyhow. They weren't walking around with like packs of bacon in their pocket and, fruit smoothies in a stone cup or anything like that. I mean, I'm joking, obviously, but we ate enough to sustain us for the next day or two. And I don't know, maybe that's God reminding me that, hey, you know what? This is kind of how humans ate. It's okay if you do. For some people, if you have to take medication, if you have digestive issues and you simply cannot eat what you require calorie-wise in one meal and you need to spread it out, do that. Please hear me. Do that. And there's no judgment. Again, it took me almost 6 years before I came to the realization, hey, I could do this and this might help me. Why not? Because the weight was creeping up. I was feeling bloated and starting to get constipated again and feeling frustrated. And I was doing all the right carnivore things. And it wasn't helping at that stage. And this has. So this is a tool. Make sure you're eating carnivore, keto, or low carb to begin with. Okay? That's the first bit. Get off all the crap, all the junk. But if you're on this channel, you're probably doing that already, right? So you don't need me to say that necessarily. If you're not, give it a try. I promise you it's worth it. All right? But for those of us, particularly women over 50, especially if we are menopausal or postmenopausal, the lie that we're told is, well, your hormones are now different, and any weight you gain, that's it. That's just you're stuck. That's just going through menopause. That's it. It's over. You'll always have a bit of a belly or a bloaty area there, and that's it. There's nothing you can do, because there's no way you can lose weight after 50. Your hormones have changed. It just won't happen. Now, that's not true. It will depend on what you eat, obviously, how much of it, when you eat it, but it is possible. So there's that. But I just wanted to make this quick video. I was just feeling inspired. I don't know if this is helpful. I hope it is. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me all this time. You've been there from the beginning, and it means everything to me, so thank you so much. You guys are amazing and incredible, and I appreciate all your support. Again, this is what I'm doing because for me, I needed to try something different, because the weight that crept up during menopause simply wouldn't go fully away. And it just left me feeling bloated and constipated and nauseous, and I knew that that wasn't quite, that wasn't how it should be on carnivore. But my hormones had shifted, and my body didn't function the way it used to when I first started this process, because I wasn't in menopause then. My hormones were in a good place, and so it worked. That's how I lost 100 pounds in 6 months, simply with diet. If you want to know more, check some of my older videos, but it's true. I lost 100 pounds within 6 months when I first started carnivore, just by changing my diet. I was in a wheelchair. I couldn't exercise. My fibromyalgia was unbelievably horrible and bad, and it's all been changed, and that's incredible. But then I reached a point, I think mostly because of going through the hormonal shift of menopause, where what I was doing, while it worked well initially, it wasn't working for me anymore as well as it could have. And so that's why I've made this change. And if you're in the same place, and you're feeling the same frustrations, this might help. I would also say, and this is what I did too, that I didn't just jump into OMAD. I did not. I started to ease into 2 meals a day, and then eventually OMAD. And so, and the other amazing thing about OMAD is my skin, other than being red because I got a bit sunburned, is as clearest it's been in years. So that's a bonus as well. Anyways, guys, that is it for me today. If you have any questions, if you want to know what I'm doing or why I decided or further details, please leave comments below. That was it. I just want to share this with you guys. Again, thank you so much for your incredible support. I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know how things keep going as they progress. In the meantime, have yourselves an amazing Monday. Please stay hydrated. It's going to be a massive heat wave throughout the UK this week, perhaps where you are too. Enjoy yourselves. Have a wonderful day. All my love. Thank you guys for everything. And I will be back later this week with more content. That is my intention anyways. Love you guys. Bye for now.